Hello to myself and everybody else. This is video 63. So far for this one, it's another rambling video, and with this one, basically, currently me recording this, it's like 5:15 a.m. on December 13th, 2025. So far, I have officially graduated college in December 12th, 2025. And basically, I'm just going to be talking about that for a while. But yeah, so far with me graduating and everything, it's like, it's really not one of the best things ever. Because so far I have the degree and everything and stuff like that too. But like, I really didn't have to do anything to, get the degree. Like, I had to struggle a bunch. But that struggle really wasn't worth it because I didn't learn anything. Like, that so far is like one of the worst things about it. Because basically I just got a degree, didn't have to learn anything to get it. All I did was just waste like time and money, and it feels like a huge waste just having this, because I know people are going to use this as like an excuse to be like, oh, you know how to do this because you have a degree now. And like, jobs will basically use that degree to be like, you should know how to do this stuff. And that's just going to be like a huge like thing that just gets in my way a bunch. Yeah, so far I just need to basically I'm going to go ahead and start doing this, because my cousin sent me some websites and I'm probably going to use those to learn how to program and everything like that. So yeah, I'll probably just go and get started on that like today, or just at least look into them to just try to figure out like what website or what programming language to look into, and like what's a good place to learn them. Because again, I've learned nothing at college, and I gotta start looking into stuff because I know my parents are gonna make me start looking for a job and all that eventually. So that's a thing I have to do stuff with. Yeah, so far again, just for me and everything. Yeah, the reason why I'm whispering a bit is because, again, just some family is visiting and stuff like that too and all for the graduation to happen, so I can't really like talk as loud. So that's just basically for if I'm editing and it sounds low, I don't know. But yeah, just basically, again, just going through my whole like thing with school, college, and everything and stuff like that. Like, so far I have to say is this. When it comes down to like my early days in school, like intermediate, primary, high school, all that stuff, it's like I always ended up getting put into classes or into situations where my school was like, okay, we're going to experiment with something new. Like, if there's a class that was confirmed to learn, like confirmed to teach people stuff, they would switch it the moment I get into that class and go, okay, let's try something different. Let's see what would happen if we completely change it by changing exactly how the class was taught or what stuff was used or whatever. Basically, by the end, they would confirm, okay, students didn't learn anything this semester because we switched things up. So we will go back to the other way. And I'm like, so you just wasted my time, wasted the time I could have used to learn something for an experiment, and then you're going right back. So it would be a whole thing like that, where it would just completely waste an opportunity I would have to learn something. Because that definitely happened in school with like the video game class in 11th grade. Well, basically once I left that and went to 12th, because my original teacher left and then a new teacher came in. But basically when the school was looking for a new teacher, they basically had the option of, one, hiring a dude with a freak ton of degrees who knew what he was doing, or two, hiring another football coach. They went with the football coach, and that's why it was like that class became horrible after that. So that was like an entire thing there. And then like in moving on to technical college, basically my school ended up like trying to get rid of their computer program, and then eventually they were surprised a bunch of people were signing up for it, so they decided, okay, we will try to get a teacher or something for that class, or for all the classes. So they got one dude who was like an hour away from the campus, and he basically showed up and taught Java 2. Literally Java 2. So there was no Java 1, only Java 2. And because of that, the advisors basically said, oh, you don't need Java 1, Java 2, you can just jump right into Java 2, it's easy. They had no idea what they were talking about, because literally everyone who took Java 2 said, don't listen to the advisors, they have no idea what they're talking about. Java 2 is impossibly hard without Java 1. You have no idea what's going on. They had to do a bunch of work to try to catch up, and it was a whole process. So I never signed up for it. That teacher left, and they never had a Java 1 ever. So that was the whole thing. But from there, after that, they hired a bunch of teachers to try to teach the class. And the problem with that was, so far the teachers they hired, they were pretty good. The problem was the college didn't want to pay them, so they left. Like the next semester. So with that, we're left that other semester just with no teachers. So because of that, basically they decided, okay, we will instead just give the students like textbooks, because so far in that semester when the teachers left, I could have got hands-on experience with creating an Amazon shop and making money with it by like reselling flash drives and stuff like that too and all at a markup. That would have been our project. And at least with that, I would have passively learned a skill to help me be able to, make money. But because he left, they just said, okay, well, here's a textbook, read the definitions, and call it a day. And that was a huge problem, because it went from, I could have got practical experience, hands-on experience with something, into, okay, don't worry about that, just read the definitions, call it a day, and that's it. And that's like the terrible stuff about it too, because I'm like, I could have genuinely learned something. Same thing with PC hardware. I could have learned something from that. I could have learned how to fix computers. But again, that's when the teachers left. So they decided, okay, here's the textbook. Just read the textbook. That's it. Just read the definitions. That's all. And that really didn't help too much, because again, the other guy would have gave us hands-on experience with a broken computer. But with the one we had now, it's like we really didn't get any hands-on approach at all, like whatsoever. And when it came down to that, it was like we just ended up having to just like figure out what we had to, like, basically just reading the textbook, and that was it. Other people in the class legit was like, they wanted the other guy back because we would have learned something, but it was agreed upon we didn't learn a single thing, like whatsoever at all. So it was just terrible and everything with that too, because that was just a huge waste of time and money. So we didn't learn like a single thing. And when it ended up coming down to that, it was just a matter of like, we just had, basically the whole class was just a waste of time and money, and that was it. Just a huge waste of time and money. So with it coming out of that and everything, we just had to move on from there, take it as a loss, move on, that was it. Then other classes I had too, like HTML, that was taught by an English teacher who actively said they had no idea what they were doing. The school just put them in charge of that class. And that was because all the teachers and stuff quit, so that was a whole problem there. And it was just like really bad. So like just any chance I had to learn something, the school actively took it away. Which basically, again, to reinstate, this is December 13th, 2025. Basically earlier this month, I basically learned that the president of the technical college, he was stealing money, like, I think since 2016 or something. So because of that, it's just that, like, that explains a lot why the courses have been just completely terrible. because anything that could have just like helped with anything that could help any of the students, he basically took it away so he could just try to get more money, which is a major problem. So just having to deal with that, it's like, that's just a realization where I was like, yeah, just my whole school experience in technical college was terrible. No one believed me until it was like, oh, this guy was stealing money, and the fact that the school like almost lost its accreditation, or they did lose it, where it was like they basically proved students weren't learning what they were supposed to be learning. So the school basically almost like shut down. And I'm like, yeah, people still don't like, people are starting to believe, well, they're starting to believe me a little bit on, okay, that school was not that good. But even then, they're still trying to go, okay, well, maybe what he was saying was an exaggeration, but yeah, the school doesn't sound like it's the best place. I'm like, I tried warning people, but they just treat like what I say is an over exaggeration or a lie. And then when this happens, they still refuse to admit, oh yeah, he was right. They're just like, oh no, nobody could have saw it happening whatsoever. So yeah, it was like that and everything too. Technical college, based like I said, school-wise, huge waste of time. But if I had to say, the only benefit I really got from it was basically, one, getting angry enough to start working on my own games. Two, just starting to learn what I needed to work on, because that was another thing I had to do as well, just learn what I needed to work on. And three, basically just getting started practicing music and art and everything. So those are the main things there as well. But then after that, going to actual college, or actually, no, with technical college as well, it's also working with the IT team and technically getting my first job tutoring, even though the tutoring really got on my nerves because of the two clients I had were just completely terrible. But still, the whole thing and stuff like that too with college, that one just was bad as well, because one, I didn't want to go in the first place. That alone was just already a bad start, where I was like, I didn't want to go, so I got stuck with that. And then when I got forced to go, basically I ended up like being forced to go and everything. So with that, I just had to like suck it up and just go. But basically while I was there, I was hoping to learn something, and then the same problem keeps happening each time, where everyone proves that you will not learn anything in school, and it's horrible. Because with, what was it? Basically starting off with orientation and everything. Wait, hold on. Okay, I'm back. Basically with orientation, that already started off bad, because basically they were like, with orientation, when I first went there, that was before school started. And the whole point of it was to basically, well, the point of an orientation is to show you around the school so you can kind of get a feel for the campus, get information so you can know what you're dealing with before you go there. Like, because we were already all accepted into the place and we were going like next week. We get there and basically orientation is just them going, okay, let's try to sell you on going to the school. And I'm like, we're already enrolled to go next week. So what are you trying to sell us on? We're already here. And then when it came down to questions we needed to know, like how do we pick our classes, they couldn't answer those questions. Because they were like, somebody would ask that question and most of them would say, we don't know. Which, we're like, how do you not know? You're like an advisor, or you go to this school. They couldn't answer. Then they show us a video that answers the question by being like, okay, to enroll into your classes, basically your advisor does it for you your first time. So we're like, okay, sure, that's how it works. Then I get a call from my advisor before I go there saying, are you still going? You didn't pick any of your classes. And I'm like, you're supposed to do that for me. And they're like, no, we're not. And I'm like, that's literally what orientation said when they finally answered the question. And now you're saying, oh, that's not true. The reason I think for that was because with me going there from tech, even though they didn't accept most of my credits whatsoever, I guess they considered me a senior. So that's why the lady was just like, you should have picked your classes yourself, even though I had no idea how to. They just put me in as a senior and then told me nothing. So it's just things like that where I'm like, okay, you're just gonna like throw me under the bus, not tell me anything, and then just be like, oh, well, that's your fault for not knowing this thing the first time being here. I'm like, okay, those are already red flags for like this school is not gonna be good. But I was already stuck going, so. But yeah, just like to keep going and everything and stuff with that too, is the fact that my teachers would basically say a lot of stuff like, they're not there to teach you, they're there to teach you to teach yourself, which was not a good thing because basically that means we'll give you a topic or we'll just give you work and we expect you to just look up information, just figure it out. But then it's like later on in school, in the same breath, they're like, oh, a lot of you are using a lot of AI and everything, and we don't know why. And it's like, because you're not teaching us anything. You're just giving us work, saying figure it out, and then not answering questions. Because I would genuinely have a teacher that just would not answer questions whatsoever. Like, if somebody had a question and they asked it, she would just go, I'm not answering that question. So that was a big problem. Then another teacher, another teacher, basically that one, he would give you like a study guide or he would give you work and then he would give you like a test or exam, but it would have information slightly changed. So basically let's say this, you do a practice example with like two numbers and it's like you have to add both of the numbers together and divide it by 2. You're like, okay, that's how I get this answer. But when you get over to the exam, he'll add a third number. So you're like, okay, I guess I do the same thing, but what do I do with this third number? And then he would just like, when we all fail the exam, he would be like, okay, here's what he would say, it wasn't that hard, here's what you were supposed to do. Basically, he's like, you would take the two numbers, add them, the third number, you're supposed to subtract it. Then you're supposed to multiply by the power of itself. And I'm like, how will we know this unless you showed us this? And he would just be like, oh, it's not that hard if you already know. I'm like, that's not helping us at all. You're setting us up to fail, which is basically what he would do. So that was just like not that good at all. Like, just really bad. Then my college itself, just like, again, stuff was happening at the college. People were getting attacked on campus and stuff because, like, the campus itself was, like, really dark. It was around the time of the year when it, like, got, like, pitch black dark around, like, 5 o'clock. So, because of that, it was, like, people would get out of classes or clubs or be going to classes. And since it was pitch black, because there was, like, no lights on the campus, people were, like, getting jumped and attacked. And basically the school said, well, that's not our problem, even though it's happening on campus. So basically students were like, can you guys just put more lights up or something? And they were like, that's not our problem, we're not doing that. Also, people's cars were getting broken into at the dorms, and it was the same thing. There was like no lights around there, people were always getting attacked around there. No lights, no cameras, nothing. And the school was like, that's not our problem. Which it's like, what do you mean it's not your problem? It's y'all's property. Ain't you supposed to monitor this stuff? And they're like, just park where there's more lights. And it's like, we're parking in front of the dorms and there's no lights. So basically the school said it's not their problem until a club threatened to go to the news. Then all of a sudden the school went, okay, we care about our students. We want to make sure nobody gets attacked. And it's like, they only did it so they don't get bad publicity and that's it. And it's like, it's just not, that's already not a good thing already right there. It's really not good. Now, beyond that and everything, it's like definitely a main thing where the school, like already all these like things that make the school not seem good. Then on top of that, it's the fact that, like, again, basically what I was saying before, education wise, it wasn't good. Like, because this is when I was taking computer science and information technology. The computer science classes, they would just show us stuff and give us work, but then never explain why we were doing this or what it was for. So a lot of this stuff, and I've heard other people say this, they will leave the class and go, so what were we supposed to learn? What was the point of this class? And I'm like, that's a bad thing if you're leaving the class going, so what was all this? Or like we have other classes where they rely on Cengage. And Cengage they basically just use because it was easier for the teachers to grade. But overall, it was not a good site. Like, look it up. Everyone hates Cengage. And most teachers would just use this. It was terrible. Like, they would just use it. I don't know why. They just would. Or, well, I know why. Because it was easy to grade. But, or automatically graded for them. It's just that whole experience stuff that you basically just to boil it down. Plus, one other thing too. The school also changing the schedule and stuff too, or the requirements to get a degree, because I was taking 2 degrees, information technology and computer science, and basically some classes would intersect where it was like, okay, you take both of these degrees require this class, or both of these degrees can take 1 out of the 3 classes or something. The problem was this: if you took a class, they would go, okay, that's good for 1 degree. The other degree, you will have to take another class. And you're like, shouldn't this class count for both? And they're like, nah, we're not going to allow that. You have to spend more money in another semester here and take another class, which was absolutely terrible. And it just, the whole experience of college, like, again, I hated college all the way through. Again, I would have joined like clubs or something, or like, well, most I would have joined clubs or something. But the problem was I had so much work, I literally had no time to do anything else. Anytime I finished work, they would immediately give me more, preventing me from having any free time, and it was horrible. Because their philosophy was, give more work, that should teach them, right? And I'm like, no, it doesn't. Like, that just overloads them and just makes you just mindlessly do work. It's just completely terrible. So basically, to boil it down, this whole college experience, I learned nothing from this. Except that, like, one, my parents will not listen to me on anything because I wanted to drop one of my degrees, go for the easier one, that would have made me have less debt and I would have got out faster. They thought that was the stupidest idea they've ever heard. So, now that I finally got to drop a degree, they basically try to find any excuse to go, this wasn't your idea, and just blame me for anything. It's horrible, but it's that annoying thing. Then, the other thing of that, I also learned that college is not for me. I legit could have learned more if I would have just went online and just worked there, because school has not taught me a thing. At most, the best stuff I've gotten out of school is, 1, my hatred has fueled me to like get better making games. 2, I've gotten like some pretty good art supplies and books to like keep working on certain stuff. And like I at least have like ideas for my goals and everything like that too, which is really useful. So those are like 2 things that are like pretty good and stuff for me too and everything. But the actual school stuff itself, not really, not at all. It's been horrible. When it comes down to basically, like, just to sum it up, my whole school experience was terrible. Just absolutely terrible. Just entirely, just hated college. And it just sucks going to graduation, because I didn't want to go in the first place, but my parents forced me. Is that it sucks because everybody, when they hear I'm graduating and I got a degree, everybody's like, oh, you learned so much, you can do so much. And I'm like, I haven't learned a thing. I have no idea how to do anything at all. But everybody's just like, oh no, you learned so much. I'm like, no, I didn't. I have no idea why everybody treats like everything I say is a lie. I have no idea why. But beyond that, it's just like, It's just that like I gotta like figure out what to do. So basically I said my plan was to go on these websites my cousin recommended to me and see what I can find, as well as two to just keep working on my normal stuff, keep making these videos and see what I can do and everything. But yeah, getting on to my other stuff though, it's like I'm still working on my game. I'm still trying to learn my other stuff. I'm still making the videos and stuff for them. Basically, what I'm trying to do and stuff like that is just trying to see if I can like figure something out and everything. When it comes down to like, yeah, so far I'm kind of tired of messing this up a bit. Plus, having to talk quietly is like messing me up too. But basically the main thing is this: for my goals for the future, they've changed slightly. Basically, including one, because this is something I kind of like. Okay, let me start like this. For my marketing, I've kind of come up with a plan for that. Basically, I'm going to actually use the Game Maker forums to try and advertise my stuff more by just like talking to people and just using the different communities and everything like that. Just, I will try to use that to just see if I can get people to try my stuff out. As well as I also need to try other people's stuff out too, try to like get connections and all that. So I need to do that. And then two, so far after my school experience with like working with a team, yeah, I've kind of confirmed that I do not want to work with a team because every team I worked with in college has sucked. Everybody can't do the bare minimum. I'm the main one doing work and just sitting there going, I could have did this by myself. So I'd rather just be a solo game dev the whole time. That would just be better off for me. And then the other thing is that it is something I kind of read in one of the forums where just like somebody was like, if you could go back and tell your younger self something, what would it be? And somebody basically said they would tell their younger self to kind of keep making games as a hobby rather than a career, because they said as a career kind of took the fun out of it because they had to work with a team and they basically couldn't make what they wanted. They had to be told what to make by someone else. So they said they kind of would rather just like have kept it as a hobby, keep making stuff, and just not went to the field. So like I said again, basically I'm still going to be a solo dev, and basically I just don't want to really work with a team. Might change, but again, just for now, to try to stick with solo stuff. And basically, trying to just think of my timeline here. At least I've come up with a marketing plan for the forums, but when it comes to the other stuff, because making my game, I'm still doing that. Programming, I'm basically learning that from making my game. Music and art, same thing. Except the art I'm basically doing on my own as a separate thing as well. So there's that. Trying to think of what else. Basically, if I had to say something else, I really don't know. Like, the main other thing, as I said, is that programming, I'm going to see if I can learn something from one of those sites my cousin sent me. And, well, that's really all I got. Just the forums, keep doing what I'm doing, and see if I can learn programming. That's really it. Yeah, my timeline, yeah, that didn't work out because I'm nowhere close to being done. I keep ordering more books to learn stuff, but I'm like working slowly. The main thing I said I want to do is, before this month is up, I do want to finish the cartooning part before the body. So I will try to do that. Basically, I just need to, because the next part I do, I'm going to try to get it done before this December. It's going to be like a big, long video of just like the stuff for the female face and stuff for the caricature. Then that should be it. For the armature one, I really don't know. That one is probably going to go into next year, but I will keep working on it. because I also said this. I basically said the cartooning ones I might release whenever I do them, or I might release them on Thursday or something. Or if I don't have another video planned for Tuesday, and then the armature stuff, do that on Tuesday. I really don't know. Basically, I have to just like plan stuff out and think more. But again, I might just mess around with that. I know definitely for this month minimum, every other, like whenever I make the cartooning ones, I'm releasing that. The armature, that'll be for Tuesday. They have a backlog of videos, so just in case if I can't make a Tuesday because like a job or something or whatever, then I should at least have videos coming out. So there is that. But if I really had to say, I kind of have a plan, sort of. And I'm just yawning a bunch. I'm tired, but yeah, basically just again, I will still just try my best and just see what I can do. So yeah, basically the rest of this month I'm just gonna like keep working on cartooning and the armature stuff. I'll try to make some more stuff next week by like I think the 16th or something, just see what I can do. So far with no college getting in the way, I'll keep practicing and I gotta work on my game and stuff more. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff I gotta do. Plus with my parents probably, being on my back about getting a job, there's that as well. So a lot of stuff I gotta deal with. But yeah. Basically, I'll make another rambling video by the 31st and hopefully I can make one at a better volume. Plus, I messed with the settings in Audacity, so I have to see if this audio is even good. It might sound messed up, but again, I'm the only one watching these, so it doesn't really matter. But still, I'll just try and see. Trying to think, is there anything else I need to say? The marketing, I'm going to use the forums. College sucked, and I graduated from it, which feels like I wasted years of my life, and I'm kind of got dicked over because having a degree means people are going to try to just throw that in my face all the time. What else? I will just keep trying to make games and all that. I'll keep trying to improve upon my skill. From there, I think that's really it. And just like I said, the next video will be by the end of December, so I can basically just recap my information and everything, and possibly what my plans are for next year, just to see what's up, and just to reflect on my progress and stuff from, a bit before, just to see what's up still. So yeah, I'll just see what I can do. Yeah, so again, just, I'm rambling, but that's the point of this. I really hope the audio comes out good on this. But yeah, so to myself and everybody else, see you in the next one.